This video assumes that you are most of the way through requesting an evaluation questionnaire on Otago inFORM and want to know more about evaluating multiple groups within your paper. Earlier you would have entered a questionnaire title such as Psych 211. Let's say it included 2 streams. What you do now depends upon whether the 2 streams are being taught at the same time, for example twice a day during the same 3-month period, or whether the streams are taught one after the other, for example one 3-month stream followed by a second 3-month stream in a 6-month period. Let's look at each situation. If you have 2 streams taught in the same 3-month period and you want just the combined feedback of both streams, then select I wish to evaluate my participants as one group. This will generate one questionnaire for both streams to complete, with one report combining their responses. In this instance, the email panel we use would include all the students from both streams. Now let's look at a situation where groups are taught one after the other. If you have 2 streams taught one after the other at different times of the year, and you still only want the combined feedback, then select I wish multiple groups and a separate analysis for each group. A separate questionnaire will be generated for each stream, and unless you note otherwise, a separate report will also be generated for each stream too. To change this, you need to explain in the final notes section below that instead of a report for each stream, you only want one combined report. This option is good if you are concerned about the anonymity of student responses or the representativeness when they are surveyed in small groups. Alternatively, if you want separate reports for each group, the process is the same for streams that are taught at the same time or one after the other. Select I wish multiple groups and a separate analysis for each group. A separate questionnaire will be generated for each group, so with the above example in mind, this one request will generate 2 questionnaires, one for each group, and will result in 2 separate reports. If you want to have a report that combines the responses for both groups, please note that in the final notes section below. To distinguish groups, we need additional information about each of them. If there are more than 2 groups, click Add another group /stream. To remove a group, click the red rubbish bin. Each group needs a different name. This name will be appended to the end of the questionnaire title. So for Group 1 March to May, the questionnaire title will read Psych 211 Group 1 March to May. If you wish us to obtain the email list for each group from eVision, we also need to know the eVision activity codes such as lecture, practical, tutorial, and eVision streams such as L1, L2, P1, P2 that relate to the students you wish the questionnaire to be emailed to. If you are going to provide us with the email lists yourself, however, you can ignore these fields. Enter the number of participants to receive a questionnaire in each group. The sum of the groups should equal the number of participants entered above, but estimates of these numbers are okay if you are unsure. We will change the number to match the panel list. We might, however, contact you if the number in your request is hugely different from the number in the email panel, just to check that we have the correct email lists. Enter the date and time for the questionnaire to start and end. The questionnaire will be emailed to students at the time specified on the start date, and the questionnaire will cease to be available for completion after the end date and time. The start time defaults to the current time and the end time defaults to 23:59. At the start time, the email that you have entered to receive information about this questionnaire will be notified that questionnaires have been distributed. A reminder email will be sent to students yet to complete the questionnaire halfway between your chosen start and end dates. The email you have entered to receive info will also receive an email at this time which includes the current response rate. At any time, students can access their active at otago.ac.nz evaluations by logging into the student home of Otago inFORM. As per normal, you can choose for us to pull the email streams from eVision, provided you've also entered the eVision activity and stream codes, or you can email us participant lists for each group. Because each group has its own questionnaire, you should receive an acknowledgement email from evaluation@otago.ac.nz for each group almost immediately. In this or a second email, if you have custom questions for us to check, you will also receive a preview link to check the accuracy of each questionnaire. To make any changes to the questionnaire after it has been submitted, contact the evaluations team.